other place too, bro.
All right, hold the mic up.
Yeah. Where you from?
I'm from Virginia.
VA, no doubt.
VA, man. 757 area.
Yes. Salute to the VA fam.
Okay. All right, go ahead with your thing, bro.
Peace to the family. It's your brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge. I'm out here at the Colin Kaepernick United We Stand rally. It's not a protest, it's just a rally where a lot of the brothers and sisters are coming out showing their support. As you can see, there's a sea of brothers and sisters. There's a sea of people who have come out to show and lend their voice and support. Yeah, I said it, you know what I mean? It's a powerful feeling. I'm listening to a lot of the talking points. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that they were gonna be this expansive with their talking points, but I'm appreciating what I'm hearing. I feel the energy, I feel the power, yeah. You know. I mean, considering the condition that we're in as a people, we should be doing this weekly. There ain't no more time to sit back and just shoot the shit and do the nigga shit, you know what I mean? It's time to stand up. We're being looked at as jokes around the world. People are turning their backs on us because we turned our backs on ourselves. Yeah, I said it. Of course, I'm hearing Jay. He did an interview with Rap Radar. I'm saying that he's coming around with his mind state. Diddy is out there tweeting and all of that, trying to wake up. We have to be, you know, I can't say that we got to be patient with them because we waited long enough. It's been a lot of BS, a lot of redundancy, their messages, a lot of lack of responsibility on their behalf. So, like the brother Mike Son opened up a speech earlier or a poem where he was talking about woke being a trend. I hope that they're not just being trendy, because this is the new trend. This is the new black. I hope that they're not just on the bandwagon so people don't put them to the fire and whatnot. I hope they're ready to put not only their name and their likeness, but also their resources and their influence so they can help this movement grow. So my children, your children, and the babies could begin, all right, so be like my son, my father's out here and everything with me. So our children could be inspired to stand up and say to themselves, you know what? The people, our role models, are making it cool to want to be smart again. You know what I mean? Because that's ultimately what this is about. The elders have to hold the youth accountable. It's not about your label owner. It's not about who owns you. It's about the community that you serve. So the youth are acting like youth. They're saying youthful things. They're talking about money, hoes, bankrolls, and clothes. They're being youthful. But like any OG, you know what I mean, who's responsible, we gotta hold them responsible like big brothers do. Pull them up, pull their pants up and whisper in their ears. The big homies like Jay, Diddy and all of them, they got the influence to call a meeting, fly them to your mansion, you know what I mean? Fly them to that mansion on the water and whatnot. They will come any other time at your birthday party, your all-white affairs. So the OGs have to be what OGs have always been, responsible, and they gotta be the fathers that these young brothers have, because if they did have father figures, they wouldn't be signing 360 deals telling the other youth to kill themselves. You feel me? Yeah, so OGs. Yeah, I said it. Alright? Salute to the family. It's your brother Red Pill. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, all of the social media, EL_Filthmore. And you can also get the app Know the Ledge in the Google and the iTunes stores. Alright? Salute to the family. Yeah, I said it. Oh.
This is what I'm doing here. I just grew up. I grew up watching football. I'm from Cleveland. I'm from the Cleveland area, and I grew up watching the Browns and going to football games. And they've had terrible quarterbacks, and they've had a terrible team. And I don't know if they were interested in Colin Kaepernick or not this year, but you know, it's just really, really sad and really pathetic that a black man in America in 2017 can't use the platform that he's earned for himself to speak his mind about something that affects us all, and it's really, you know, the NFL deserves to be called out nonstop until they change the way they're handling it. wonderful to see a professional athlete, a successful person who's got fame and status, use it in a way that is humble. You know, so many people grow up dreaming of being a quarterback for an NFL team, and Colin Kaepernick says, you know what? There's something more important to me than football. There's something more important to me than being an NFL quarterback. And I don't have a problem with walking away from it if this is the cost. And that's, you know, that's inspiring. He's an inspiring figure for that reason. Hashtag, yeah, I said it.
My name is King Chuck. I'm from Jersey. Me and my brother here, obese, and we represent. We Giants fans, but we represent us in the NFL. All right, we standing together right now. We here for Kaepernick. All right, at us, Eskimo Brothers on Instagram and Midnight Combos.
Gotta stand together. We gotta stand together. Like I said, I'm Ray Martavi. This is my brother King Chuck, and we out here to represent not just for Colin Kaepernick, but all of us that just treated unfairly on a daily basis.
And that's why we ain't watching no NFL games. None. And we Giants fans.
We not.
So you know what that means. We not watching no more
If
games.
they don't have nobody, if they don't get this man some type of position with the next year, I'll burn all my NFL stuff.
We done with it. So we out here.
All right, tell them where to find you at again, man.
Once again,
At Eskimo Brothers on Instagram and Midnight Combos.
spell that ESKIMOBRRAATHERS. Eskimo bro. Hashtag.
Yeah, I said it.
After Charlottesville, I think it's even more important because it's all connected. It's all racism. It's all oppression. Even keeping Colin from working is oppressing him. He is a great quarterback. I hear. I don't follow football, but I hear, and he's not working. Let's just tell the truth, because he knelt down instead of standing, which there's no law requiring anybody to stand. As it's been said in the rally here, it's only started in 2009 after the government or somebody gave the NFL a lot of money. Anyways, it's awesome that people are waking up now because of things like Charlottesville and because of Trump, who I won't even call him the president. But people are waking up, and God bless, because the more people that wake up, hopefully we can bring all of this to an end. What I hope more than anything is that we can become like another world leader where we love everybody and we take care of everybody. You know, everybody is equal here, and if people think that that people of color are treated the same as white people, it's just wrong. It's not true, and maybe they don't realize it because they don't feel it from the other side, but they are not treated the same. And so what I hope comes from this is that people can open their eyes, read the lyrics to this song, understand that African Americans don't even really know their true heritage because they were just yanked out of their countries and forbidden to speak. You know, the same as the Native American. I'm sorry if I'm like broadening this, but the same as the Native Americans. Native Americans were not allowed to celebrate, to do their dance. No. Thank you. They were not allowed to speak their own language on a reservation until the mid-70s. They were not allowed to hold ceremony and all their ceremony is talking with their ancestors, but white people became afraid of it, and so they wouldn't allow it because they thought it was them banding together. You know, when you hear in all those old movies, you know, the war drums. It wasn't war drums, it's spiritual drums, talking to their ancestors. So this is another form of oppression, and I think that Colin has been like the most gracious, humble person. The way he stands for this, you know, it was brought to my attention today that he is like Muhammad Ali, who was imprisoned for not going to war and could not box, but that's how passionate he was about what he believed. And Colin is the same thing. He's not standing out here with us. He's doing other humanitarian work. People probably don't even realize all the good he's doing in the world. And for somebody to relate this, that because he plays football, that he has to stand for something that he doesn't believe in, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So my hope is that more people just will open-mindedly check the facts, check history, look at the man for who he is and what he does, not what people say or what other people think and just spout, but check the facts and check history and check it from a real place, not pretend news. and hopefully we can all come together and everybody can be treated like we were raised to believe that we were going to treat everybody, that we were the people who protected the world because we were the most powerful country. That's not what we've been doing. It's terrible. And yes, I said that.
Came down here because I have to be here. Like I said, Colin Kaepernick took that stand for us. And we all should be here taking a stand for him. I'm glad there's a lot of people here, but there's a lot more that need to be here. It's a priority for me. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people with social media that aren't here, and I'm not just a social media light. I like to be out here, and like I said, I'm glad I see others out here. There should be way more out here. This is more than football. This is more than social media. This is huge, and for anybody that stands up for us, we need to stand up for them. We need to have his back at all costs. So, as a Giant fan, 30 years, I will not put my face to anything that has to do with the NFL until Colin Kaepernick has a spot on the roster. Hashtag, yeah, I said it.
Where are we going? Where are we going, sir? Because I didn't hear what you said.
Come on. You gotta get out. Let's go. We cannot block the crosswalk. One way or the other, guys. Let's go. Keep playing. You can go up there. You can go in the pen. Wherever they're doing, but the crosswalk.
In the pen. Why they call it a pen? Sorry.
I'm out here supporting Colin Kaepernick because I believe in everything that he's doing, and I value and believe in our black men. I think black women have always stood on the front lines for them. He stayed committed despite everything, despite all the adversity, to donating $1 million to all of these causes. And the NFL makes all of this money on the backs of black men. You know, this book's called $40 Million Slaves, and we look at the owners of these teams and who's really raking in the dough and who's deemed as disposable. And so the way that they're doing Colin Kaepernick in place of some of these other quarterbacks, in place of some of these other charges, and he hasn't committed a crime. He's standing up for his people and what he believes in. And so it's important that we stand with him and show that he's not in this alone. He's not the only one that feels that way. I work for a nonprofit, and they're pretty supportive in endeavors like these and standing with organizations like these. But me personally, I don't move unless it feels right to me. You know, my job don't have to tell me to make a move. My family don't have to tell me to make a move. My church doesn't tell me to make a move. I make a move when it feels right and it feels like something I should be standing with it. And Colin stands for the black men that could have been gunned down, that could have been stopped unfairly, that could have been my brother, my father, you know, my boyfriend, could have been anybody. And so that's what his taking a kneel and Marshawn too, and anybody else, you know, that has kind of slipped under the cracks for a little bit. He's just being used as a scapegoat. Like, that's what makes me want to stand out here, and I could put my face and my name on the line because he already has. I am.
Okay.
I'm from the Bronx.
I'm from Virginia.
I just got back from there. That's unrelated. I just got back from Virginia Beach.
Okay, shout out to
Yeah, out of Norfolk or whatever.
Okay.
I think Chad Ochocinco, he was on a podcast sometime and he talked about this. Every NFL player doesn't make $100 million a year. There's a lot of these guys, you watch a show like Hard Knocks, you watch some of these other shows, and a lot of these guys, you know, are doing check to check just like most of us. Everybody doesn't have the power and that voice to be like, I could lose my job today and I'll be all right. So I think in doing that, yeah, you have to decide where your morals lie, and if you're willing to, you know, lay down or die a little inside, if your company stands for, you know, something like this, if you work for a Verizon, you work for the NFL or whatever. But I think you also have to learn how to use your voice in other ways, and if you can't put your face on the line, and maybe you donate some money quietly, maybe you're doing stuff on the weekends and you giving back to the community center, you trying to keep these guys out of trouble and arm them with skills and tactics of how they interact with the police. Like, there's ways where you can still use your power even if you can't be as vocal as you want to be. Hashtag I said it.
I stand in the tradition of Jim Brown, Tommy Smith, Carlos Smith, Jesse Owens, all the Afro-American athletes who have contributed to American integrity. I feel that The NFL has been always a very exploitative, very racist organization that made trillions off of Afro-Americans from the 50s to the 21st century. And now with Trump and this whole racist ideology taking place across the continent, they have decided that there's no room for grievance, there's no room for protests. Colin Kaepernick is got to be just as good as 64 other quarterbacks in the NFL. And at least half as good as 32 of them. Because remember, he appeared in the Super Bowl, he appeared in the championship. They traded away their number one quarterback when he became a freshman. This is hardcore racism. It has very little to do with Colin Kaepernick. It's a message to all people of African descent to get back in your place. Afro-American athletes have to be held accountable too, because there's no reason why there shouldn't be 25 or 30 NFL players from the Jets, the Knicks, the Giants, the New Jersey team, because they're all getting exploited, but we've taken on the idea and we're going to slip through the crack. I'm slipping. And for the majority of Afro-American athletes, all they want to do is slip through the cracks. I said it, no doubt. Skip Bayless, Washington, D.C., Ohio State.
Okay, let me ask, why are you here?
Well, I suppose I guess that it's time that African Americans, that we stand for something. This is a time when there are so many things going on in the country, and having the opportunity to stand for something and stand with someone who stands for something doesn't happen often. It happens as often as the solar eclipse we just experienced the other day. So I decided to put the work in and make a sacrifice. I left my job early just to be here, to be a part of this historical event, and to also be a presence for something as important as what's taking place, not just now, but in this country as a whole.
Hashtag I said it.
You guys gotta keep moving, you can't stop.
I'm a teacher, and I've weaved this particular incident into my lesson plan. So I wanted to be here to see the views that others had, and to see if anybody from the NFL comes down to a podium and has anything to say on the matter.
Okay, anything else in the freedom of expression that you would like to say, that some thoughts that you pondered that made you actually walk out to this situation?
Well, freedom of expression is just one of the issues. This is multifaceted. This is a young man who is basically challenging the social order of things, of how things operate. As you can see, he is being whiteballed, as the term goes. However, people who engage in actual criminal activity are welcome back to the NFL, no problem. So what is the difference between the two? You notice that the president hasn't spoken out on any of the people who have gotten arrested for crimes, but he's spoken out in a situation where a guy's been whiteballed for not committing a crime. Hashtag indeed I said it.